All right, first and foremost, give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who rule well and who is worthy to be counted for double honors. And peace and salutations to you brothers out there pushing the truth wholeheartedly and sincerely and for love of the gospel. It's our brother Gabari from Indiana Camp. Come back to get one of this. Sit down. This one's going to be entitled the Indian Removal Act. And then in parentheses, I'm going to put thy violence against thy brother Jacob. All right, it's a series that our elder, that our elder of the camp has brothers doing about basically bringing out the atrocities that the so-called white man had basically did to the so-called Latinos, Negroes, and Native Americans in the world. All right, and as soon as he says that, as soon as he brought that into discussion, I automatically thought about the Indian Removals Act, the Trail of Tears, if you will. You know, however you want to, basically, you recognize as it. But this was an event that happened, as you see, back in the 1800s, early 1800s, where basically, I believe the 23rd, I forgot exactly what president, but we're going to get all into that in this article. The article is in education.natgeographics.org. And you can just type it in, Indian Removal Act. So the little highlight, it says Congress passed the Indian Removal Act, beginning the force and relocation of thousands of Native Americans in what became known as the Trail of Tears. See, and I learned about this in school. The Trail of Tears is basically where they had the Gadites walk from I forgot exactly where was it from. It was a long distance. I even think this is a picture. Is it a picture here? Shows the distance. It's not. So there isn't a picture, but you can Google Trail of Tears and see the distance that they walked, which was a very, very long distance. And they had them walk that while they rode on horses. They had Gad walk, to the location. And as you see in the picture, it was through the winter, well, we're gonna get more into it. So, I'm not gonna read the whole entire article. I'm gonna get key points, and then I'm gonna get some scriptures, and we're gonna, finish it up there. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. It says, on March 28th, 1830, the United States Congress passed the Indian Removal Acts, marking the government's clear-cut push to remove Native American tribes from east of Mississippi River. The Indians Removal Act opened land the indigenous people had previously called home to white settlements and expansions of slavery. Further codifying injustice at the federal level that had long been underway. See, so basically, back in the 1800s, it shows you that their hatred wasn't just for, so-called black people or so-called African Americans. No, Esau hated all the tribes, man. All right, he hated the northern kingdoms just as much as the southern kingdom. All right, to enforce this type of act and enforce this type of law, where he's taking thousands of millions of Gadites and pushing them out of their land where they called home to another excluded land, and have them walk there. Not even the common decency to carry, a couple in car, carry a couple of them in probably chariots or some type of vehicles, and just carry how can I say, a load, probably a couple hundred at a time, but no, have all of them just pack up their things and just move, so just so you can get there. See, that just shows you that the hatred and the disdain that he had towards Jacob, man. All right, which the Gadites will fall up under that banner. Okay, it says by the early 1800s, the U.S. federal government and several states' governments had already frequently pushed indigenous tribes farther and farther west. Violence, threats, deception, and legal agreements, often treaties where tactics used to transfer indigenous hales. It's like used to transfer indigenous held land to white people. See, so basically, look, it says starting it says they was already doing it. So before even before even the law was passed, you had a lot of governments and a lot of several states already doing the deed, man. You know. But what the scripture says, what they framed their missions by a law, so they wanted to put it into a law. But it shows you that what they were already in the motion of doing it. All right, they didn't care if the law was being passed or not, man. They were already pushing forth to doing them, and it says what, through violence. All right, and that's the spirit of this video is named, through that violence against thy brother Jacob, man. You know, which is in the scriptures, but it says what, thy violence. So they used the violence, they used threats, deception. You know. Which if you look up the word devil, you know, or the Latin word diablo, it goes into what? Deceiver. All right. It says in legal agreements, man. You know. So this man, he had it out for them. He had it out for the Gadites, man. You know, where he tried to push them out of their own land, man. Now just imagine you got a guy coming to your house talking about, yeah, this is a nice house. You know, and he's showing you a whole bunch of laws and legal agreements, and he's trying to, do all this other stuff, and now he's expediting you out of your own house. You know, he coming there dividing, like, yeah, well, this can be your side of the kitchen, this can be my side of the kitchen. Your food is now my food, you know, and you like, what the fuck, what the hell? And now he pushes you all the way into a corner of a basement. You know, it says, and hold on, wait, let's I'm going to skip around a little bit because I want to get another point. This is a good point right here. Let me get this. It says tribes living in what is now the U.S. Southern East at the time included the Choctaw, Chickasaw, Muskego, and Seminole. See, so it had what? It had Gad and Reuben in there, man. You know? Lumped up together. This is by the 1800s. These nations were known collectively as the 5 civil tribes because they had held adopted aspects of white settler culture as pressed by the United States. Yeah, anyways, it says practice the boom. Pushing that philosophy on them. It says their education systems, like, hold on, let me skip a little bit. Because they had adopted the aspects of white settler cultures pressed by the U.S. government. Many copied the ways settlers dressed, their education system, their practice, their Christianity, their use of plantation agriculture, and their enslavement of people of African descent, originally enslaved by Native Americans, was not the same as the practice by white settlers. Being enslaved was not as inherited or permanent status. The enslaved could be adopted into the family. This change, as the culture and beliefs of these tribes became virtually identical to the United States, still the civil practice. See, so it even shows you that it even said that even when, which is a custom of ours, if you go into law, you can actually, not enslave a so-called brother or another Israelite, but it's more of an apprenticeship. All right. He comes to work for you for 7 years, and then whatever y'all agreed upon, whether you agree to y'all agree to saw some land, some cattle, or whatever it is, it's more like an apprenticeship. He comes to work for you for X amount of years, and then you give him some of whatever your goods, man. Especially if you were an older man and you had stability. If you had a decent amount of flock, some land, so maybe some daughters, to give the man, So when he comes, but what he wasn't doing certain injustice things to that guy, man. He wasn't going into his wife. He wasn't beating him with a whip. He wasn't making him stay there, because it shows you. It says what? It says what? They have enslaved people from Africa, which they talking about the tribe of Judah, originally enslaved by the natives, were not the see they made a quite distinction. Says were not the same as the practice of the white settlers. Being enslaved was not an inheritance, was not inherited or permanent status. See, so basically, Jay can leave whenever they want to. Which like I said, it's in our law. You go read about it in Leviticus and the different books of the law. You read about how it says what if somebody sojourned, they can work for you for 7 years. If he wants to stay with you forever, you shall boil an awl in his ear. Just to basically representation that he's going to be your he's going to basically be your servant for life. He said, I love my master. I want to be with him forever. I want to serve him until the day I die. Because his master probably gave him a nice ass crib on his house. Probably gave him a wife, probably gave him some kids, gave him cattle. He probably was living good. He's like, hey, just imagine if you was a cook, or imagine if you was a butler for what's it called, for Michael Jordan or Jay-Z or whatever. He probably gonna be paying you out. He probably gonna be paying you all types of money just for you to cook for him, or just for you to drive his cars, just for you be like, man, this is the best job ever. I don't even want to go do nothing else. I want to stay with this job. So that's exactly how it was for an Israelite owning another Israelite. Because a lot of people be in this world be like, oh, well, blacks own slaves too. Yeah, but it wasn't to the extent of Edomites, man. Edomites went completely overboard with when they had us in slavery, man. So just because so-called Native Americans had Jake in slavery doesn't mean that that's a frown upon look thing. That's a down thing. No, man, that's part of our custom. A young man, a stripling young man, come works for you. Hey, look at Jacob. Jacob did it for Rachel and Leah. He worked for Laban for 14 years for his 2 wives. That's what that was agreed upon. He worked 7 years then he got Leah, then he worked another 7 years, and he got Rachel. That's part of our customs, man. And it's not, and like I said, it's not as a whip back in, I'm gonna do whatever I wanted to do with your wife, your kids are mine, all that. It's not like that type of slavery. It's more of an apprenticeship. You take a young man up under your wing, you showing him the ropes, you showing him how things is getting done, and so forth. And then whatever y'all agreed upon, whether it was some land, some cattle, whatever, you give him his pay at the end of whatever was agreed upon, whether that be a year, 2 years, 3 years, or whatever. You basing your service off of whatever. Hey, if you want half his land, you might work for him for 10, 15 years. And then once you get 10, 15 years older, you get half that man's land. If he chooses to sell it, or if he chooses to give you a daughter or cattle or whatever. But basically, to not ramble on too long, not to ramble on too much, is basically what I'm saying is, just because so-called Native Americans has enslaved Judah doesn't make them like, oh, see, they're just as bad as the white man. No, that's not. No. All right. That's not. First of all, that's part of our customs, like I said multiple times. And second, it wasn't as to the extent of Esau Edom. It even shows you that in this article. It says it wasn't the same practice. The white settlers was horrible, was relentless, Let me get this one piece of the article, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start hitting some scriptures. Like I said, you can look up this article. This is in education, NatGeographics.org, if you want to read more into it. But here it is right here. A series of legal treaties, mostly after violence against the Native Americans communities precede the 1830 Indian Removals Act. From 1814 to 1824, 11 treaties were signed that provide the legal framework to the retribution land from the southern eastern indigenous people to the whites United States Army officers. Andrew Jackson helped negotiate 9 of these treaties from 1813 to 1814. Jackson fought alongside the Cherokees and the lower, which that's BS, because he's the one who actually signed the bill, you know. And if you don't know who Andrew Jackson is, pull out a $5 bill. Is it $5? No, that's Lincoln. Pull out a $20 bill. That's Andrew Jackson. All right. And Jake, and for you people, I love money so much. And you look at these 20s, look at these dubs. That guy on that 20, that guy on that dub, he's the one who signed this act in law, and he's the one who signed this bill, man. He's the one who made the so-called Native Americans walk that treacherous route. All right, your $20 president, you know. And that's the part I wanted to get to, basically show, you know, because Jake forget, man. Hey, listen. Shit. When was Jim Crow? 60 something? 1960, 1950? You know, before all of that, every president wasn't really fucking with Jake like that. So you got what? How many presidents has been? What, 47 maybe? I know Obama was 44. Then after Obama, it was what? Trump. Then Trump, after Trump, is Biden. So if he was 44, 45, 46. So it's been 46. So out of them, what? I'll probably say a good 38, 39 presidents, all was against Jake. All of them was all against Jake. They wasn't fucking with Jake. Yes, even your beloved, I don't even know, what was he, the 16th president? Yo, Abraham Lincoln. Your so-called Emancipation Proclamation, he freed the slaves. Once you understand the real reason why he did all that, and you read other speeches that he gave, because even in the speech he said, God forbid we give the slave rights, you know. So it was more about just letting the slaves go. It was a bigger picture, all right. It was a bigger picture. He didn't want it. He wasn't even looking at it like that. Like, oh yeah, let the slaves go because they need to be free. No, he was looking at a bigger picture, man. But here you is like, oh, y'all looking at, oh yeah, he signed the Emancipation Proclamation. He was he did this. He's the one who freed the slaves. No, that's just an aftermarket. Because best believe, if he wants to still get what he wanted to get done and keep him in slavery, that would have been completely fine with him. All right, let me go ahead and get these scriptures, man. First of all, let me get Genesis, the 49th chapter, and get what is going to befall, what's going to befall Gad. All right, this is Genesis chapter 49 and verse 19. It says Gad, and this is when, you know, Jacob was telling, you know, basically telling all his sons, you know, the prophecies of what's going to befall them. All right. It says, Gad, a troop shall overcome. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. See? So that troop was what? The fucking, the conquistadors that came over, when they was over here in the Americans. When we separated from Jeroboam Ramborn, you know, if you know about that history, when we separated, and they came over here to the Americans, all right? And Miracle Vespucci came, and, you know, Cristobal Colon and all that, you know, extra shit happened. Then what? They eventually got taken down by the conquistadors came. They was forced to learn Spanish, forced to learn Latin, you know, just like how we was forced to learn English. We was brought over here in slave ships. We was forced to learn English. You know, we was beating our heritage out of it. What? Y'all was the same exact way. And y'all still have certain customs that of Israelite tradition, like the so-called taco bread. You know, that's the flat bread. You know, y'all wear fringes on y'all ponchos or whatnot. You know, matter of fact, the stone, the Las Lunas stone over there has actual written Hebrew on it. You know, to show you. Oh, what? Another thing. What? Pyramids. All right, y'all was heavy into sun worship. All right, so y'all built a lot of pyramids. All right, now what's also known from pyramids? Ancient Egypt. And who built those pyramids? The Israelites. All right, so just to show you, y'all had that same mind frame back when we was in Egypt, man. All right, Because where did y'all get that? Where did y'all get that unction to build pyramids from, man? You know? So y'all still have certain customs and certain things to relate y'all back to who y'all truly is, you know. But the scripture says what? A trooper's gonna overcome you, man. And them troopers, what? Esau, Edom. All right, he came, he overcame, he came, he took your land, and he extradited you. I hope I said that word right. You know, but the scripture says what? But he shall overcome at the last, man. So hey, if you're part of the elect, man, you will overcome at the last, man, because Esau will eventually get put down, and you're gonna be back on top. Okay. Let me get one of my favorite scriptures actually when it comes to Esau. This is Amos chapter 1 and verse 11. It says, thus said the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for the 4th I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did chase and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. See, man, so when you read that article and read the things that happened to Gad, you know, and even all to the tribes, man, hey, Esau never really showed Gad mercy, you know. When he brought out that Gatling gun and he gave him smallpox disease, man, he really showed he showed Gad no mercy whatsoever, man. All right. Now look, all the Americas is all he is, man, and Gad is pushed off to reservations, you know, which are ghettos, just like who? The so-called Negroes, man. They're all pushed off to ghettos. All right. And you've got some sellout, bugged out Gadites talking about, oh, that was happening a long time ago. We just got to accept the fate. You know, that was our grand. Man, when I seen, I'm think, I don't know, I was kind of had a warped mind where I'm thinking like every time I seen a Native American, they were mad. They were always mad that they got they land taken. But now I ain't seen some coon ass fucking Gadites talking about, oh, that was a long time ago. We need to get over it. You need to learn how to forgive and forget. I'm like, what? What did you just say? Forgive and forget, bro. Y'all whole entire land was taken away from y'all. How can you forgive a person for like that? That's just like, let's just back to the house analogy. Just imagine this your house complex. They completely booted you out. Now they kids staying there, and their kids staying there, and so forth and so forth. And your kids got to look across the street, look at them like, damn, that used to be our house. That used to be our grandparents' house. Oh, well. There's no oh, well. Shit. I hate fucking ads. Come on, man. I don't even fucking take that long. Shit. This is Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 10. It says, For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. See, man? It's because what? The way that Esau Edom treats his brother Jacob, which is what? Fall from the Negroes all the way down to Issacharites. Guess what? He's going to be cut off forever for that, man. He's going to be completely urban legend in the world, man. All right? He's going to be a nightmare. His place isn't going to behold him no more. And he's going to be completely cut off, man, for thy violence. All right. Because what? He pursued us with the sword, that he cast off all pity because he didn't hate blood. So for these things that he did unto us, and he's still doing unto us, guess what? The Lord's not going to forgive that. The Lord said what? He shall not all acquit the wicked, man. All right. His sin. Matter of fact, let me get this right quick. Zechariah chapter 2 and verse 8, it says, For thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that touches you toucheth the apple of his eye. See, so man, and who touched us, man? All you nations did, but who's touching us now? Esau, Edom. And he's continuously touching us, man. All right? He's continually spoiling us, man. If you don't want the word spoil, the word spoil goes into destroying us. All right? He's messing up our household. He's fucking with us chemically. Putting shit in our food, putting shit in the air. You know? He's constantly destroying us. This is a book called Secret Warfare, man. That Esau has he's going to war. He's going to a war with the people who don't even know they're at war, man. Which is a brilliant tactic because it talks about that in the book of it talks about in the book Art of War. All right, by Sun Tzu. If you read that book, it says a genius tech. I forgot exactly how it's worded because it's been a minute since I read it. I'm gonna have to read that book over again. But it says a smart warrior prepares. I think it says a smart warrior prepares himself in case of war, but a genius or an outstanding warrior fights with an enemy that doesn't even know that he's at war, so to speak. Something along lines of that effect, man. Basically shows you that the best way to win a war is to fight somebody that they don't even know that they're in war with you, you know? So you're warring with this person. He doesn't even know you're warring with him. That's exactly how 2/3 of our people are, man. You know? 2/3 of our people don't even know they're at war right now. And the number one enemy is who? Esau Edom. He's our number one enemy. He's warring with us. Mentally, physically, spiritually. We're at complete warfare with this man, all right? And the only way you can combat him is what? Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and get it. This is Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 17. It says, I'm gonna start from 16. It says, above all, take the shield of faith. Therefore, ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. See? All right. So what? We need to take the helmet of faith, the spirit of the sword. All right. And the breastplate. We need to put on basically the armor of God, man. That's how we can combat against this man. All right. We're not going to do it physically. We're not going to actually take him down physically, get up arms and go and shoot guns at him and throw him bombs. And, we're not going to do that. No, we're going to fight this man spiritually through the Spirit. That's how we're winning. That's why we're a threat. Because when it comes to the Spirit, he can't contend. He can't come against us, man, when we deal in the Spirit. All right? That's why the scripture says walk circumspectly, man. The word circumspectly means what? Circle, which means around. Inspect means to look. So if you're looking in a circle, guess what? There's no way you can get blindsided. There's no way you can get snuck upon. All right? Because you're constantly watching, constantly aware of your surroundings. You know? But I'm rambling. That's really much pretty all I had, man. If you go back on the website, you can look it up and read the whole article yourself. I just want to get tidbits that I found interesting in the article. But again, this is a video for violence against thy brother Jacob, and the title of the video is going to be the Indian Removal Act that was signed in 1830 by Andrew Jackson, the person that's on your $20 bill for you money lovers out there, So Lord willing, I hope this video is edifying, man. Until next time, I'll say shalom.